Elizabeth Johnston and Brice Bolden's officially announced. They are divorced. I will explain everything. They captured our hearts with their genuine smiles, their heartfelt moments, and a love story that felt straight out of a fairy tale. But behind the screens of Seven Little Johnstons, Elizabeth Johnston and Brice Bolden's chapter together has come to an unexpected close. Today, we share the heartfelt journey, from first spark to tearful goodbye, and explore what lies ahead for both Liz and Brice. When Brice Bolden first arrived at the Johnston family home for Sunday dinner, he was a stranger to the Little People community. But it didn't take long for Elizabeth Johnston, the family's spirited middle daughter, to notice his kind eyes and easy sense of humor. What began as polite conversation over mashed potatoes and meatloaf soon blossomed into shared laughter and the spark of something more. A week later, Liz invited Brice out for coffee. Surrounded by soft jazz and the aroma of freshly ground beans, they opened up about dreams, family, and life's challenges. For Liz, who'd faced her own share of skepticism about dating outside the Little People world, Brice's genuine interest felt like a breath of fresh air. And for Brice, meeting Liz was like finding a missing piece he didn't know was lost. Their first official date took them to the county fair. Between spinning rides and carnival games, they discovered a shared sense of adventure. As night fell and the Ferris wheel lights blinked above them, Brice leaned in for a tender kiss, sealing a romance that would soon become central to the Johnston storyline. Winning over the Johnston family was the next step. Trent and Amber, ever the protective parents, watched Brice from afar before inviting him into the fold. His respectful manners and genuine love for Liz quickly silenced any doubts. By season 13, viewers saw a proposal teased. Is Brice finally going to pop the question? But life, as we know, rarely sticks to a script. Then came the news that turned their world upside down, in the most beautiful way. In summer 2023, Liz and Brice announced they were expecting their first child. The couple's joy radiated through the screen as Liz cradled a tiny sonogram picture, while Brice fought back tears of happiness. For a couple still navigating new love, the arrival of a baby promised both boundless joy and new responsibilities. With Liz's achondroplasia presenting unique pregnancy considerations, from monitoring her comfort to ensuring a safe delivery, the couple braced themselves for both excitement and challenges. Their honesty about prenatal checkups and hospital visits deepened fans' admiration for their openness. November 3, 2023, marked the moment their lives changed forever. In the early hours of that crisp autumn morning, Elizabeth Johnston and Brice Bolden welcomed a healthy baby girl, Leighton Drew Bolden. Amidst beeping monitors and hushed whispers, the tiny bundle of joy arrived at 5 pounds, 9 ounces, a perfect testament to love's resilience. Their first family photos spread across social media. Liz's radiant smile as she held Leighton for the first time. Brice's awestruck gaze, softly brushing his daughter's cheek. Trent and Amber's tears of pride. Viewers everywhere shared in the emotion of that tender moment. Parenthood, as any new mom and dad know, is both magical and exhausting. Liz balanced late-night feedings with online classes, working toward her nursing degree, while Brice mastered the art of diaper changes and soothing cries. Their commitment to teamwork became a fan-favorite storyline, a young family learning to grow up together. By January 2024, the family's first outing arrived, a trip to the pumpkin patch. Against a backdrop of orange gourds and crisp air, they laughed as Leighton gurgled at the world around her. It was these simple moments, first smiles, first messes, first giggles, that affirmed their bond. But every love story has its challenges. Between sleep deprivation, new parent stress, and the pressure of public scrutiny, the once effortless chemistry began to show cracks. In confessional interviews, Liz admitted to feeling overwhelmed. Brice confided in friends that balancing work and fatherhood was tougher than expected. Behind the scenes, friends close to the couple whispered about growing distance, long phone calls late at night, solo outings unaccompanied by the other, signs that the partnership was under strain. No drama was televised yet, but those paying attention sensed the shift. Liz say, "Hey everyone, I've been holding onto this for a while. But I want to be honest with you. Brice and I have decided to separate and are no longer living together. It's been one of the hardest decisions of my life, especially for Leighton's sake. But we believe this is the best path forward." With those words, Elizabeth Johnston and Brice Bolden confirmed what fans had feared. After nearly 2 years of romance and the joy of parenthood, their relationship had reached a crossroads. The Johnston family rallied around Liz. In emotional confessional interviews, Trent expressed unwavering pride in his daughter's strength, while Amber offered a mother's embrace and words of encouragement. Brice, though gutted, shared in a private interview that his love for Liz would always remain. Fans took to social media to send love and encouragement. Team Liz and Team Brice hashtags trended for days as viewers shared memories of their favorite moments together and voiced hope that both would find happiness, even if it was apart. Now single and devoted entirely to motherhood, Liz has thrown herself into her nursing studies and her bond with Leighton. We catch glimpses of her resilience, late-night lectures, early morning playdates, and quiet moments where she simply breathes in her daughter's laughter. For Brice, the healing process includes father-daughter weekends and rediscovering his own passions. Whether working at the community center or spending quiet afternoons with friends, he's learning to redefine himself beyond the role of a partner. Their story reminds us that life doesn't always follow the fairy tale script, but there's beauty in authenticity, showing both the highs of new love and the bravery in letting go. Elizabeth Johnston and Brice Bolden taught us that relationships evolve, sometimes leading us down separate paths, but always shaping who we become. If there's one takeaway from this chapter, it's that strength comes in many forms. The courage to embrace love, the vulnerability to share your journey, and the resilience to start anew. Wherever Liz and Brice's futures lead, they'll carry the lessons of their shared story, and so will we. More update. Why 7 little Johnstons, Liz Johnston broke up with Brice Bolden. And Liz Johnston shocks with relationship update, but why? And Liz Johnston accused of telling lies about her job. I will explain everything. Why 7 little Johnstons, Liz Johnston broke up with Brice Bolden. The split with Brice Bolden is being discussed openly by Liz Johnston. Curious admirers of the little Johnstons have been seeking explanations. The breakup has been tough for her, she said in a new video that TLC shared. Liz went on to discuss the evolution of her friendship with Brice. To find out more, continue reading. Season 14 of 7 Little Johnstons debuted on Tuesday. After breaking up with Brice Bolden, Liz Johnston went public with the news. Their relationship, which viewers witnessed in earlier seasons, has now ended. A fresh clip featuring Liz discussing their breakup in further depth was released by TLC. Their emotional separation was preceded by her revealing the moment. "Well, it looks like Brice and I are breaking up," Liz informs the producer. Before continuing, she wants to ask the producer to give her a moment to collect herself. "So, my roommate Brice and I have parted ways." Liz Johnston announced their separation. "And I couldn't bear to be in a relationship where there isn't any love or, spark. It just doesn't sit right with me." They were more like roommates than partners, the 7 Little Johnstons star confessed. Their relationship had lost its luster. Liz reflected on her childhood memories of seeing her parents strive in their marriage. When she realized that someone wouldn't stand up for their love, she knew she couldn't stay with them. "I just can't do it with someone who's content to be in an average relationship or even a good one," Liz Johnston said. "And I simply cannot be in a relationship that is average and satisfactory. It does not reflect my true self." The breakup hasn't gotten over Liz yet. The way the relationship ended has left her angry with Brice. After moving in together, the reality star said, everything changed. Their relationship became increasingly imbalanced as she realized that no one else was invested in its success but herself. Liz became depressed as a result of this. Their split was beneficial, she thinks, even though she is furious about it. The happy couple welcomed a daughter into the world in November 2024. When season 14 ended, it was unclear whether the couple reconciled. After Liz Johnston and Brice Bolden broke up, what are your feelings on the matter? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Liz Johnston shocks with relationship update, but why? Despite Liz Johnston's pregnancy and Brice Bolden turmoil, in season 14 of 7 Little Johnstons, the new mother recently went on social media to reveal an astonishing relationship update. Now, what is her current situation? 7 Little Johnstons season 14 centered on Liz Johnston's pregnancy and the stress in her relationship with Brice Bolden. As fans may recall, the couple broke up, and the futures of both of them were clouded with doubt, particularly because they might have to face it alone. The pregnancy plot involving Liz Johnston, however, was another shock that kept viewers engrossed in their screens and searching social media for hints shortly after the breakup. Everybody knows that this was a treasure trove of dramatic plot points for TLC, and the network made a killing off of it. Since 7 Little Johnstons is no longer airing, many fans are wondering what happened to Liz and Brice Bolden. A lot of people are curious about the current status of their relationship, especially because Leighton Bolden is involved. In a recent social media post, Liz revealed some shocking news about her relationship. In her most recent update, Liz told Brice Bolden and Leighton about her fun autumn plans. Not only that, but with Halloween quickly approaching, the whole family got into the holiday spirit. The most current news has it that Leighton is rocking a pumpkin-themed ensemble and more. Liz Johnston placed the caption "Happy Fall" and "Go Dogs" next to the joyful family photo. Despite all the uncertainty surrounding Liz Johnston, Brice Bolden, Leighton Bolden, and their family's future, things are looking up. From a couple who was about to divorce to a contented family of 3, Liz and Brice appear to have grown closer after having Leighton. If the relationship is already strained, having a baby might make things much worse. But it seems like Liz and Brice are the one exception here. The inverse seems to have been true once Leighton was added. This most recent update solidifies Liz and Brice's stronger-than-ever relationship. The majority of 7 Little Johnstons viewers hold Liz in low regard, but everyone adores baby Leighton, and her presence alone will likely bring in viewers for more next season, especially as she made her official debut at the season's finale. Liz confirms her split from boyfriend Brice Bolden, no longer living together, but why? Liz Johnston revealed her split from partner Brice Bolden in a sneak peek for season 14 of the Johnston family's TLC show, 7 Little Johnstons, after fans had speculated about the breakup for months. "Looks like Brice and I are breaking up," Liz, 22, announced in a sneak peek video that Parade released on March 11. The nurse needed a moment to gather herself in another room after getting tearful, but she eventually came back to explain why they broke up. "My roommate Brice and I have decided to part ways." She announced that they had broken up. "When we lived together, it was more like being roommates than a couple. And I just can't stand being in a relationship where there isn't any spark or affection. Therefore, I can't see myself living that way." Liz continued by saying that she had witnessed her parents, Amber and Trent Johnston, maintain a strong marriage for over 25 years. "I desire that, but I am unable to achieve it with an individual who is content with merely being in a good relationship, experiencing a mediocre one," the mother of one went on to say. "And I simply cannot be in a relationship that is average and satisfactory. It does not reflect my true self." To a producer's inquiry about her emotional state, Liz said, "I'm feeling a lot of emotions, with angry being the predominant one due to the fact that things had changed. Brice, who is 25 years old, is still genuinely a good guy," she said. "I can't live like that," was Liz's final statement after considering the mental toll a relationship can take on an individual. When the relationship starts to affect somebody's mind, when they don't feel loved and have tried everything to keep the relationship going and keep the spark alive, and then they're exhausted from it and just pretty much get depressed. Liz and Brice had been dating since 2018, but it's not clear if they broke up before or after they delivered their first child. They made the announcement in September 2023 that they were expecting their first child. On November 3, 2023, their daughter Leighton was born. Based on what we can see in the season teaser, Liz's pregnancy and delivery will take place in season 14. It is unclear whether Liz and Bryce are back together or just co-parenting, but they have continued to spend time together since welcoming their baby. Along with Bryce wishing Liz a happy birthday in December 2023, they shared in the joy of celebrating Leighton's first Thanksgiving and Christmas with the Johnston family. Liz breaks silence about breakup with Brice Bolden, but why? Viewers of Seven Little Johnstons on TLC may want to get ready for a roller coaster of emotions before season 14. Reason being, Liz Johnston has now confirmed that she and her boyfriend Brice Bolden have split. In an exclusive videotape provided with Parade by TLC, Liz broke the news and explained the reasons behind their breakup. She broke her silence to inform producers. "So Bryce and I are no longer together," before she became visibly upset and briefly excused herself. "Can I have a minute?" "Well, Bryce and I have decided to part ways," Liz said after a little period of reflection. "We are no longer together. With us living together, it felt more like roommates when we were actually in a relationship," continued Trent and Amber's 22-year-old daughter. "I don't want to be in a relationship where there isn't any love or, spark, so obviously I can't live like that." During the special sneak peek, Liz mentioned how she witnessed her parents' efforts to maintain their romance after being married for almost 25 years. "I can't do it with somebody who is just with being in a fine relationship. Being in a mediocre relationship," she pointed out. "And I can't be in a mediocre and fine relationship because that's not who I am." There were a lot of emotions in Liz's life, she admitted, but mostly anger because things just change. Bryce is genuinely a good guy, Liz conceded, but she still felt they weren't providing the support she needed in their relationship. She spoke about when the relationship starts to mentally affect somebody, when they don't feel like they're loved, and they try to do everything to keep the relationship going and to keep the spark alive. And then now they're exhausted from it, and then they just get pretty much depressed. "I can't live like that." Those who follow Liz on social media know that in November 2023, they had a baby girl named Leighton after she and Bryce announced they were expecting. If Liz and Bryce have made up since then, nobody knows. Liz Johnston accused of telling lies about her job. Fans of the TLC show Seven Little Johnstons are accusing Elizabeth Liz Johnston of lying about her employment in season 15, which is currently airing. She apparently isn't a licensed nurse in Georgia, despite her time spent studying nursing. In light of Leighton's birth, the most recent TLC season reveals that Liz Johnston appears protective of her daughter, despite Bryce's best efforts to be a good dad. Unfortunately, she needs to work and isn't always available. So now you know why Amber and Trent are acting so doting parents. Naturally, Anna Johnston's growing estrangement from her family is also a major plot point of the season. However, Seven Little Johnstons fans believe Liz Johnston lies about her employment, so she takes the heat. If she is nursing, it can be easily verified, according to some TLC fans on Reddit, who think she's being stupid. According to TLC viewers, Liz decided to become a nurse instead of continuing her education. The fact that she handles her infant as if the concept of tender care has never crossed her mind is one explanation. She had previously identified herself as a dialysis assistant/technician, according to one of them. It doesn't, however, make Liz Johnston a licensed nurse. On March 4, the topic was brought up by the O/Salty at 8360 regarding the Seven Little Johnstons star. Their writing contained, "The fact that Liz reveals her profession as a nurse in the latest episode is just bizarre to me. I double-checked, and the Georgia licensing website does not show that she has her ON or LPN credentials. Lying about this is so weird." Everyone else thought it was quite unusual, too. The TLC star was also accused of being dishonest by others. Yeah, why the hell would you lie about something that is easily proven/disproven on national television is wild to me, one of your followers remarked. Subsequent remarks were far more critical. They likely consider everyone who works with sick or injured individuals in any way at a medical facility to be a nurse. It's easy to find that information. She's completely ignorant. For what reason are they being dishonest about something that everyone can prove? It would be wise for her to complete her nursing degree if she is truly committed to the career. Additional information regarding Liz and her credentials was provided by another participant. Their observation was that she works as a patient care technician and medical assistant. Her credential is likely the result of an 8-week course. They continued by saying, how humiliating that she equates herself with actual nurses who had to endure rigorous education to reach their current level. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.